Lukan Online, right here with my special guest of the day. I'm joined by the one and only...
the Love King of R&B, Raheem Devaughn.
He's here with me right here in London. He's here for a special show at the Just Cafe. Raheem, pleasure to meet you.
Yes, sir. Pleasure.
Definitely a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Legend in R&B. Ladies love Raheem. Yeah. Talk to me a bit about yourself, like a little bit about your upbringing, just for people who aren't sure of how you came up in the game. Just very briefly, how did you do?
Well, I'm based out of Washington D.C. area. Mm-hmm. I was born in Jersey, but that's where D.C. is where I perfected my craft, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And I have a total of 5 solo albums out. A total now of 3 Crossroads group albums with myself and Wes Felton. The most recent we dropped in 2017 under the group name The Crossroads, which is a hip hop soul group where we make socially politically charged music. We got some fun songs too, but it's mainly we're addressing stuff going on with the Trump administration, the police brutality, just the climate of where America is currently. Aside from that, a slew of mixtapes. I got over 20 mixtapes. I was the first R&B and soul artist to ever make mixtapes.
Well, I didn't know that, really.
Yeah, for to be sold or free download and that whole thing. I was actually the first guy.
What made you decide to do that, make a mixtape, and be the first guy in R&B to do it?
The way I was doing it, jacking the beats. I talk about this all around the world. It never gets old, but 50 Cent, believe it or not, was a huge influence on me in terms of the culture and just watching what the rappers are doing. I'm a big hip hop, I'm influenced by hip hop. So
who's your favorite right now?
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's so many of the people that are dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Phil Ade from my city is one to watch. Chaz French is one to watch from my city. Okay. On a higher scale, of course, like Kendrick, J. Cole. Yeah. But I like everything. I like Amigos too. You know what I mean? So I like. I understand the balance of music and everything is. There's a time and a place for everything. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So I want to go back to the album that you're talking about, where you were challenging things that are going on in this world, and like you talk about the Trump administration and all that stuff. Like no one in R&B really does that. What made you feel that you could and you should do that?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
I said, what made you feel that you could and you should use your platform and your music to make those challenges?
Well,
not necessarily challenges, but to bring to make it known that you have an opinion.
The music has always been a platform for me for healing and socially conscious music and to spark awareness and the ideas. Far back as my early recordings with Jazzy Jeff from his first project, The Magnificent. My Peoples, which was a big record. My Soul Not For Sale was another record I did with Jeff, which are very bold statements. I always been about that. I understand that music is a weapon. You know what I mean? And we can either use it for a will of good or a will of evil. You know what I mean? And but what I did is really organize and separate my brands by reviving the Crossroads stuff. That allows me to have the platform where when I want to do socially conscious records, I can do them with Wes, who's my brother, and lift him up. I'm executive producing his next project as well. And then, but also, for Raheem Devaughn and the Love King, some people don't want to hear that from me. You know what I mean? So and then there are a lot of people that do too.
So what does that happen with your fans? Do you feel that alienates the fans, or do they just wait for something that appeals to them?
It's balance. I think I found a way to balance it all.
What's the secret?
Yeah, I just in organizing. This project comes out here. Yeah. This project comes out maybe later. Yeah. And then when I do the show, it's a whole presentation. So now when you come to the show, you get the love part. Yeah. You get a moment where you get the socially conscious piece of the show.
Oh, so you give people a piece of everything.
Yeah, where I bring out Wes. You know what I mean? He's traveling. He's here with me, performing. Jazz Cafe, and so it's just the complete. It's like having a complete meal: the appetizer, the
your main course.
Your main course with your vegetables and your perfect size.
Yeah.
And then
Not too many vegetables.
Yeah, and every day you gotta eat your vegetables. and then of course the dessert. You know.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
So sticking to the theme of that album, because that was actually a topic I did want to talk about. Like I felt that you have to be very, very confident and comfortable in yourself as an artist to take the plunge and start doing work like that. And as you say, you also were the first person to make a mixtape as an R&B artist, which I wasn't aware of. So that takes me back to the fact that you are very comfortable in the music that you make, and you've been doing it for such a long time. And obviously doing a little bit of research, I found out that you used to work for Tower Records.
Yeah, it's the last job that I had.
So was it your first job or your last job?
No, it was the last job.
Oh, okay.
I've been working since I was, long before the world knew my name. I was a hard-working young man. I've been working since the age of 15.
Right. So even in going to Tower Records, it would seem that you knew what you wanted to do. You wanted to be involved in music. So you definitely did at that. But it wasn't just by chance that you happened to be working there.
I mean, it was a great Towers. It was a blessing in disguise because it was Tower Records. Gave me an opportunity to see who buys music. How it's distributed. The importance of release dates. It was just a different time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who the consumers were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before everything became digital. And
in America, the Europeans, white folks, they would buy the records. Yeah. They buy 2-3 copies. They buy a copy for themselves. They buy a copy for little Sally, little Joey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just really seeing the culture, and then anyway, Tower Records was like a musical museum when you were going there. They have all these different sections. The classical section, the R&B section, the hip hop section, live music come in and whatever. At one point, I was selling my independent music out of there.
Really?
Working the
legally?
Register. Yeah. I mean, we had it. They took our records on consignment.
Really?
It was a group I was in, Crossroads, one of the groups.
And they were selling them in Tower Records
and,
while you were working there?
Yeah, in Urban Ave 31. So when people would come through and say, who should get it the new record, this artist.
So that's a conflict of interest, surely.
And they say, suggest something else.
Yeah.
And I say, I suggest this right here.
Of course. So is that not a conflict of interest? Like if they say, there's so many albums you can buy, but obviously you're going to promote your own. Like there could be any number of artists.
I mean, I do it respectfully and make sure they have what they like and say, hey, try this too.
You don't like it? No, try it. You're going to like it.
Yeah, and then you can return it too.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah, true. So how have you adapted to the change? Because obviously there's a lot of new artists out there who won't know the struggle of having to go into a shop and actually pay your money and purchase and get a physical copy of a vinyl or a CD, like everything now digital.
You adapt, man. You adapt. You know what I'm saying? When we get these devices and the upgrade of the phone, if you want to work the phone, you're going to figure it out immediately because you need to get in that phone. So even if you thought it was the most complex thing before you got that phone,
you're going to work it out.
You're going to figure it out. You need to make your calls and take your pictures and text in and do the thing, right? So same thing, just educating ourselves on the digital platform, the digital world. There's still some challenges, but it's coming along. They're doing just fine.
And the industry as a whole, how do you find it now compared to how it was?
We're in a free world for music now, man. It's a whole new era. It's a whole new millennial of artists that are coming out now. It's interesting. I was just at BET for the 13th year. And it's different,
So you've been all 13 every year for the last 13 years?
Pretty much, yeah.
What's the differences now to back then?
I mean, I'm a young OG, man. I've been doing it over 10 years. It's just different. You have all the new artists that perform. When I did the Radio Room, which is a very big deal when you do BET Weekend. A lot of the artists from my era, not even, I guess, kind of quote unquote around anymore. You know what I mean? Or they're not welcome in the room. They thought of as too old or whatever, or quote unquote not relevant or whatever. And I look up and I see myself.
It's like you stood the test of time.
Yeah, I'm in the room. John Legend's in the room and Lettucey, and that's it. And the rest of the people I don't, it's all new artists. You know what I mean? SZA, her, Daniel Caesar. Miguel, who was probably the most seasoned, or you know what I mean, he's not considered a quote unquote new artist anymore.
Before you said John Legend, I wouldn't even thought he's been in the game for quite a while now.
John, the album came out. We came out around the same time.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, we came out and he crossed over to the pop world, so it's like
But
But yeah, like, you know, BJ the Chicago Kid, Ro James, like, who are all my peers, you know, it's just interesting, man. See the brothers come up, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, some of these cats, we had journeys where, you know, I open it up. I'm on tour with Jill Scott and open it up, and BJ's on the road singing background. Yeah. And now he's established himself, you know what I'm saying? It's great to see my young brothers and sisters come up. You know what I'm saying?
What about the UK scene? We got this thing called R&B Brits going on now. I should bring to you. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I wanna get involved. Like, call me for some features, man. I wanna do it.
You know what? They 100% will.
Yeah.
So just in case you're not fully aware, so the R&B scene isn't really doing as much as some of the other music in the UK. But the R&B scene is brilliant.
They fight for it. You know?
Exactly. So that's what they said. There's a movement called the R&B Brits.
Yeah, it's a brother opening up tonight. At the cafe.
Sanvolo.
Sanvolo, yeah.
No, I don't think Sanvolo gets the credit that he deserves. Sanvolo's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, we've been talking, maybe do a collaboration.
Yeah,
you know
that'd be amazing. I'm a huge fan of Sanvolo, actually.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. How did you get in touch with Sanvolo? Because as I say, a lot of people over here don't even know who Sanvolo is.
Well, they put him on the show because he was obviously he's a draw for the ticket sale. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at it. Like, I didn't know of him before, and I said, let me check this out.
Certainly know now.
And see who this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, it's definitely very good. What do you find the difference between performing in the States and performing in the UK?
Abroad, they just take to the music differently, man. It's a different crowd cheer. It's a different roar. It's a different energy. Yeah. It's a different attentiveness to how they take in the music and digest it versus in the States. And don't get it twisted. A lot of love in the States, but it's different outside of here. I see why.
In what way? I don't understand.
I see why Marvin Gaye left and came to, like, you know, the Holland, the UK, and like got out of.
But as a non-performer, like, I can't perform to save my life. So you're on the stage, and what the basic or the biggest differences?
It's just different. They just appreciate it different. Yeah, they're more students of it, and they just the interviews are different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the best interviews I've done have been outside of the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that is?
Again, I think
culture,
I think it's culture. I think they digest it differently. I think that they're more diverse, and their taste. Just even in his hotel, and like, you'll come and you'll hear, like, they may be playing The Doors or John Lennon, and then right behind that, like, Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's just great taste in music. Europeans have great, to my opinion, to have, you know.
So then you need to come over more.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right, so just to wrap up, we've got the new single. So let people know about your new single that you've got out now.
Yeah, the new single's called Don't Come Easy. The new album, Decade of a Love King, will be out later this year. We just went top 20. Wow. Don't Come Easy in the States for my format. And we're going to get it to number 1. It's going to be good. Good vibes.
We're going to help push that.
Yeah, man, just blessings upon blessings, man. I look forward to coming back a few times a year now. That's what this is about. Got new management.
People definitely want to see it.
Shout out to my person on the ground here, Lucia, who handles me. Shout out to my brother Omar. You know what I'm saying? And you know, all the wonderful artists here.
Cool. And last but not least, I have to ask you this question before we wrap up. Who is going to win the World Cup?
Oh man, I don't know. I can't even lie to you, man. I don't know. You got
just to throw a country out there.
You have to let me know what team is.
I'll give you clues. Countries.
I got some research to do. I tell you, hey, look.
It's not USA. I'll tell you that much.
US. I'll tell you that much. Them boys are wicked, man. They doing their thing, man. Like, it's you know, it's what they call it, football. It's the season, you know.
Perfect. Raheem,
everybody's glued to the tube.
Thank you very much, for joining me. Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to the show tonight.
Hey man, also all your followers, follow me on social media. Yeah. I'm trying to get my followers up here.
You got enough? How many millions you got so far?
I need more UK followers, like abroad. Like, most of my followers is the UK. You know what I mean? So follow me at Raheem_Devaughn. That's RAHEEM_DEVAUGHN.
Yeah, and it will be on this video anyway. It'll be on this video.
Yeah.
So perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you
very much.
Yeah.